Greetings, salutations, and welcome to today's video. So, I had held off while I learned things, but I think it's time we go ahead and go through how to Runeterra, the basics. What I'm not going to be covering, how card games function. What I will be covering, how Runeterra does its attack defense mechanics, as well as taking a look at the various keywords and how exactly they function in-game. So, let's start off by just going into the collection and we're going to discuss some keywords. We're just literally going to go through them as we find them. So, fearsome. Well, let me go ahead and state this. One of the things I absolutely love about Runeterra, if you don't know what it is, boom, just hover over it. So that's what we're going to do. Fearsome can only be blocked by enemies with 3 or more power. When we get into how gameplay works, we'll see that. Challenger can choose which enemy unit blocks. Regenerate fully heals at the start of each round. So, what is a round? A round is all of the turns you take before both of you have passed. Again, I'm going to say stick a pin in it because we'll play out a game and we'll see exactly how that functions. Elusive can only be blocked by other elusive units. He has a Nexus Strike. It's the equivalent of when you hit your opponent's face. If they're blocked, it doesn't trigger. But if they can go face, you're good to go. We also missed start of round. It's at the start of a round. Challenger we covered. Oh, level up. Whenever the bottom text is achieved, a hero levels up. Bond, that is a specific to the card. It's just a link. Quick attack. So, let's say a 3/2 card, Zed, attacks a 4/3 Lynx. They both have quick attack. Zed is attacking, so his quick attack works. Jinx is defending, hers does not. He will do his damage, and if he kills Jinx, which he would, he takes no damage. But if he attacked, say, Garen, he has 3 attack, Garen has 5 health. Garen is hiding behind cat cam. Oh. You get it. Garen has 5 health. We don't have a cat. Let's turn cat cam off for now. I'll turn it back on if I see a cat show up. Boop. Zed would do his attack. Because he didn't kill Garen, Garen would do his damage back. If, say, Kallistra were attacking and you blocked with Zed, quick attack doesn't work when you're blocking. Alright, continuing. Karma, nothing new there. Thresh, nothing new. Nothing new. Overwhelm. Excess damage I deal to my blocker is dealt to the enemy nexus. Notably, this is very similar to Tessel's Breakthrough. Where it is not similar is any ability where this creature deals damage. So they have, where is it? Fast Combat. We don't have it. But Judgment. Judgment is very much like Rage. A battling ally strikes all battling enemies. So it's like Rage. Only affects your opponent's enemies. Breakthrough does not trigger off of that. Or Overwhelm does not trigger. As such, it's only useful when your opponent is defending. Barrier. It's like Ward. If this creature would take damage, it takes no damage, and the barrier goes away. Notably, all barriers last for only 1 round. A creature will not stay barriered or warded. It loses it. And Overwhelm. So that's all the hero keywords that we've got right now, for the ones I have. If you do have questions on a hero, you can always right-click on them, and it gives you all sorts of info. So, what do you need to know about hero cards? You may only have one under normal circumstances. you may only have one of a hero in play at a time. So I have 3 Anivas. I can only have 1 Aniva on the board. If I have an Aniva on the board, doesn't matter if it's leveled up or not leveled. Oh, we didn't describe Enlightenment. Enlightenment, when you have 10 Magicka. All other Anivas in my hand become this spell, Aniva's Harsh Winds. It's a burst spell, which means you can play it whenever you want, and it doesn't count as an action. But it frostbites, which sets your enemy's power to 0 for the round. 2 enemies, and it shuffles the Aniva back in the deck. That is its skill when it attacks. And when it dies, it becomes an Egniva. Which, if you have Enlightenment, it just comes back into an Aniva. So, heroes are the first type of card. Spells are the second one. So, whoops. Come here, come here, come here. Aha. Keywords we'll see here. Ephemeral. The unit will only last for the round. As soon as it attacks, it dies. As soon as it blocks, it dies. If it doesn't attack or block and you end the round, it dies. Ravenous Butcher, let's see. Slow spells. Slow, they're not cast during combat, and they count as a full action to use. Fast spells. They could be played during combat, but count as an action. So, Burst doesn't count as an action, and happens immediately. Fast counts as an action, can be played in combat. Slow counts as an action, cannot be played in combat. Those are the 3 different things you will see. One of those will be on every single spell. Drain is like damage, except it heals you for whatever damage it does. Alright. Next. Ally. An ally is any creature in your deck, be it a follower. Follower is any creature that isn't a hero. But an ally is a hero or a follower. Stun. If you are stunning a unit, the unit cannot attack or block for the rest of the round. If the unit was attacking, it is no longer attacking. If the unit was blocking, it is no longer blocking. Some creatures will say can't block. It's self-explanatory. Last breath, last gasp. When the unit dies, whatever the card is triggers. Tough. We didn't have a hero with tough. Let's say you do 1 damage to Plucky Poro. Plucky Poro lives. Why? Because it has tough. What if they drain for 1? Okay, it takes no damage. Okay, but what if they attack for 1? Does no damage. It always takes 1 less damage. Doesn't matter the damage source. Let's see. Battling just means any creature that has been committed to battle, whether they're attacking or defending. Attack happens whenever the creature attacks. Ah, there's the last one I was looking for. Recall. Return a unit to hand. Any buffs are they're all go away. If a hero was partway up to leveling and they need to level on the board, it resets them. Lifesteal. Damage this unit deals, heals the Nexus that amount. That is the equivalent of Tessel's Drain. I think we've covered everything. So, let's go ahead and hop into a game. And we will go ahead and play our Frosty Elites deck, because A, we just had a video come out. We'll play normal just so I don't have to, Actually, give me a second. What we'll do is we'll just put this versus AI so I can explain things. So the AI is not optimized, but you do get experience. And when we get into more advanced tactics and how to level your collection, we'll get into why you should be playing the AI. But I digress. So, you start with 4 cards. Your opponent also starts with 4. You get to decide really how much, if any, of these cards you want. Your opponent does not get to see what you are mulliganing. You will not know what your opponent has mulliganed. So what we are looking for at the opening is, we're looking for something to play on turn 1. Now, notably, we have the attack token first. So we will be attacking on the odd turns. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Now, what's important about attacking on 9 is we have Aniva, which we would attack 1 turn before we're enlightened, rather than attacking on 10 when we're enlightened. Because we don't have a good turn 1, we're going to be looking to play on turn 2. So I think we're going to go ahead and shuffle these back, and we're going to pick up 3 new cards and hopefully get some more creatures. We have a bunch of even-numbered cards. Alright. I have auto pass turned on. Let me turn that off. That way it doesn't automatically fast forward the game. That is an option turned on by default. So what you saw there is that I had 1 Magicka, nothing to do with it. Instead of being wasted like it was in Tessel, it is now stored in my spell mana, which you can use for casting spells. It's a way of pseudo-ramping your deck. So here, this costs 3. I didn't use 1 Magicka last turn, and I have 2 Magicka this turn. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to play creatures to the board. You may only have 6 creatures here. The only way for a creature to leave here is for it to get recalled or died. You can't do like in Tessel where you would just summon a creature and sacrifice 1 in the lane. Once a creature is here, it is here until something makes it not here. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to play out Succession, which is just a spell that gets us a 3/3. Now our opponent has a Fearsome Poro, and it has just a Jubilant Poro. Fearsome can only be blocked by creatures that have at least 3 strength. We now get to decide where we're blocking. We choose here. Commit our blocks. Opponent gets a chance to respond if they have any combat tricks. They didn't, so we go ahead and we took that. So then we'll go ahead and pass. Alright, so turn 3. We have Braum, our hero. We're going to go ahead and play him out. Now what's notable about him is that he has 0 attack. And his level up is he needs to survive 10 damage. So what we're going to try to do is just bait this Poro out. We're going to take 1 damage, and we'll be part of the way there. Now, because we've dragged that Poro out of the way, we're going to try to send this guy to his face. Or he could sacrifice his Wording Stones, which provide him 1 gem of ramp total. He doesn't. He passes. We pass. And that's a round. We are now in round 4. Played Troop of Elnooks. Hey, you guys are going to get to see more of this card when we post our next arena run expedition. Play some of the top, each Elnook in the top 10 cards of your deck. He didn't have any. What we're going to do is we're going to play this guy down. He gets to give an ally, so that is either hero or a follower. And we're going to give it to Braum.
Strength and grace, beauty in the blade.
So now his challenge is allowed to get +2 extra damage.
Help is underway. Try me, I dare you.
We're going to get 3 damage off that level, and we're going to clear the Jubilant Poro. Then we go ahead and pass. We did not discuss Allegiance. Allegiance is the equivalent of, well, an ally. If the top card of my deck is Demacia, or white, then I get the benefit, which is all your allies get +1/+1. So that's going to cost us 4. So we're going to play out Omen Hawk, buff the top of our deck. Kitties. Kitties are playing in the other room. So our opponent has passed already. Now the round will only end when both of us have passed. So he will, even though he's passed, he'll still have an option to take a turn. In this case, play Shatter. Now we're going to go ahead and launch our attack here. I don't want him continuing to ramp, so I'm going to use, well, I don't think it matters that much. So he's going to go ahead and take the block here. He's going to ramp again. Now, in terms of higher strategy, we'll end up having to play out a game that's not against the AI. Because higher strategy, AI, they don't really go together.
And a long path to get here.
But you'll notice now our board is full. We can't hold additional creatures. The AI is still attacking because it's AI. Braum is now 8 of 10 toward leveling. And then we're going to go ahead and close out the game. Now what's notable is Cythria is going to give our creatures all other allies +1/+1 and fearsome. So he can't actually use those to block. He can block her, but all of the other creatures are going to be able to go face, and that's going to be game. But that is going to cover really the basics of the game and how it's played. You're kind of always alternating between attack and defense, and certain decks, like let's just take a look at this deck. Bear in mind a lot of these are decks I have, not necessarily good decks, with a bunch of ephemeral creatures and various spells that allow you to summon ephemeral creatures. It's primarily on the defense turn. It's going to be just trying to save Magicka, so that on the next turn it can use that ramp to just continue trying to pound aggressive. What time have we got? 18? We'll kind of go through this and we can show off the ephemerals. We'll stick with AI just so that it's easy for us to follow, and I can pause if we need to explain something. So we're up against another aggro ephemeral deck. Now you can have up to 6 champion cards in your deck, but do note that if you, say, run 2 Zed cards, that counts as 2. So now what we're going to be looking at is we actually have most of our combo in hand, which is our 2 Phantom Pranksters. And we've got Vile Feast to kind of kill one of his spiders to get a Spiderling ourselves. I'm actually happy with this. Alright, so we are attacking on the odd turns, which is very important for Zed, because it means we get to play Zed on curve and attack with him. Zed's ability is when he attacks, he summons a Living Shadow. We'll go ahead and pass our turn here with nothing to do.
What's that noise?
Played a hapless Aristocrat. Last breath, summon a Spiderling. So here's my... Because this is a spell, we could wait and just put those 2 spell mana into our spell mana there, and we actually don't need to attack him. Or alternatively, we could play out our Cursed Keeper, which has the last breath of Summon That Thing and Escaped Abomination. Now we need it to die, and if we're playing versus a human opponent, they wouldn't trade with it. They'd be like, okay, I take the 1 damage. But we actually have the Ravenous Butcher to kill him. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to play this out. We're going to end round. Then we're going to go ahead and... we've got a couple different things we could do here. I think I like attacking with Zed early, and we're going to try to bait out any removal he's got. Alright, so he goes ahead and plays Stun. That prevents Zed from attacking. We'll go ahead. We don't have anything I necessarily want to respond with. And we're going to just send this face. He shouldn't block with anything. He should just take it. And because I really want to block this next turn, I'm going to go ahead and play out a Ravenous Butcher and just target that. Now we've got our 4/4, and we'll happily end the round.
I've never known beauty like yours.
You've no idea.
So we're going to go ahead and start playing our Phantom Pranksters.
It's playtime.
When another ally dies, deal 1 damage to the enemy Nexus. Oh, we don't have 3 Magicka. Disregard. Now we are going to need to find a way to kill you. Or it could be the AI is just going to be super aggressive, and we're just able to take the trade. So we're going to go ahead and play out our fast spell, just to clear the Fearsome Poro. He chooses to use Vile Feast on our Phantom Prankster.
We must all make sacrifices.
Get him.
Now, order when you're attacking is always left to right for your opponent and for you. Ooh. There's Thresh. Now, I've said you can only have 6 units in this lane, in the, I don't know what the exact term of it, but the board. You can also only have 6 units attacking, but certain units, like Zed, where he summons his Living Shadow, you need to remember to leave room for that. If you attack with 6 units, Zed does not summon his unit. Thresh is going to clear the 2/2 Spider, and actually, I think we're going to abuse the AI a little bit here and say that the AI is going to want to try to kill this, so he's probably going to send the 2/2 here, and then the rest are going to be blocking elsewhere. So that'll do, and if he blocks here, our quick attack will fire, and it'll kill without damage. So we'll go ahead and queue that up.
Please, I have connections.
Alright, so he opted to use a trick, in this case Blade's Edge, to damage that to get the trade. Now, notably, the ephemeral unit will still die, which means it will still trigger Thresh's C units die, and it will still trigger our Phantom Prankster. Now, what was that flash? If I was really curious what's going to happen, I can hover over this and see exactly what dies. In this case, we lose 3 units, he loses 4, and the final health. Also, if you watch the total here, it shows what the health will be when it all is said and done. He is collecting the souls. And we level Thresh. And what's notable is the next time he attacks, or the first time he attacks this game, he will summon one of our champions for us. And that champion will go on the attack. Alright, so he goes ahead and just plays out a Fearsome Spooter. What I'm going to do is we're just going to play Haunted Relic. It's going to give us 3 spirits that we can use for defense. He's going to kill off Zed. So what we can do here is we're going to absorb Zed's soul before his Grasp of the Undying triggers. Thus, that won't actually fire and he won't heal for the 3 health. Then we're going to play out our Phantom Prankster. So even though these are all going to die at the end of the turn, we're going to deal 6 damage to him. Okay, he does launch an attack. In which case, we'll just throw those out to block. He's going to absorb that soul just to heal himself the 4. So here we'll see we have 2 ephemeral units on the board. So what we're going to do here is we're going to use Dawn and Dusk. We're going to copy Thresh. So we get 2 extra leveled up Threshes. They're ephemeral, so they're going to go away at the end of the turn. But we're going to go ahead and drag those out. Then their abilities are going to fire. So we pull Kalistra. The second one fires. We pull an Elise. The third one fires. And we pull a second Elise. This is one of the very few ways you can actually get other creatures on, or multiple heroes on the board. Now, both of these, when they attack, we're supposed to summon Spiderlings, but because we had 6 creatures, that couldn't happen. Now, when we hit end turn, oh no, our ephemerals have already died. So we're good. So here, kill an ally to draw 2. We're just going to kill off one of the Elises, because having 2 Spider Queens really isn't that good. One's going to eat the other one. Because one of our units dies, we finish off the game. Also, apparently she leveled up. Bam! So that is the basics. Now, there's a lot of higher level tactics that can actually get involved when you are playing versus a person, and when you're playing on an expedition. As I learn more, I will endeavor to have our commentary focus that direction. But until then, swap us over here to the ending screen. Thank you all very much. Everyone who supports us. Wadawer, Phil, Delagrammaticus, Austin, Nikki, Candace. Because of you, we're able to continue doing this. If you can, hop on, join us over on our Facebook gaming stream. If you can't, enjoy the YouTube. Consider supporting us on Patreon. It really makes a difference. And to get your name up here. Anyway, best of vibes to you. Have a great night. Cheers.